these things a little bit. Hey there guys, and welcome to another video. I'm out in the nature today because I want to demonstrate to you the actual difference between the Dobby, which is so super small and sexy, and over here we have the Breeze that's a little bit bigger, but frankly, by the standard of drones today, it is still super small and sexy in its own way. But I get a ton of emails and questions about this one. What people want to know is, how do they compare? And both of them can do some selfie, both of them can do orbit, both of them can do look at me and follow me, GPS based, etc. So in a lot of ways they are almost identical. But the camera sets them apart. Now, if you look up here, this is a 4K camera, but importantly, notice when I move it, it's shock mounted. It sits like in a soft rubber, so the camera moves in and out. The difference over here on the Dobby camera, it is hard mounted, so it doesn't easily float back and forth while you are moving. So if there's some vibration in it, that vibration is going to transfer into the video. Whereas this one can have the same amount of vibration, like a slight vibration from a propeller or something, but it's not going to transfer into the video simply because the camera is floating in its own gel, kind of in its own suspended hang. That doesn't sound right. The bottom line is the camera is suspended, it's floating. This one is not. That's going to affect it a lot. The other thing, supposedly both of these two has a 4K camera, so I'm going to go with that. Now, both of them has digital stabilization. What that means is, if you have a picture this big, but you're digitally stabilizing it, you cut in and you use a smaller part, and while the camera is actually bouncing, the smaller part is standing still, so you can see the big picture moving, but the small cutout part doesn't move at all because it's being stabilized electronically. And here's where these two differ a lot. The stabilization of this one, called EIS, is very strong. And what it means is you have a big picture and you cut in a lot, so you get a fairly tight shot, and it's very stable. Now, Yunee chose to go a slightly different route. They still have the 4K shot, but they're not cutting in as much. They're showing you a lot more, but when the drone does like this, the picture does kind of slowly like this. So they still have some movement left, but you see a lot more picture. Of course, that's simply because if your picture is this big and you cut in just a little bit, when the entire picture moves, eventually your picture has to follow the big picture. There's just no way around that, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set them up right here where I'm sitting, looking kind of this way, so that the sunlight does not blind the camera. I'm gonna give them the best possible chance and let them look away from the sun a little bit, and then I'm just gonna get 30 seconds of video with each one of them, and we're gonna put them side by side. They're gonna be over the exact same spot, so that tells you how much each one of them shows. And for a reference, I also brought the H. Now, a big difference with the H is, fold these arms out so you can see, notice how the camera moves. What that means is, when the aircraft bounces back and forth, the camera stands still. That means you don't have to cut in and only use a smaller part of the 4K image in order to get a stable shot. So obviously, if stable shot is what matters to you and that's what you're looking for, you need something that has a gimbal, the thing down here that moves around. Without that, you're not going to be able to get the full 4K shot looking totally stable. So I am going to put that in also, and you're going to be able to see how they look. Now, if you take a look here right now, on the left side is the Breeze, on the right side is the Dobby, and down in the bottom here is the full shot from the Typhoon H. And you can obviously see they're different, and the Typhoon H looks like it's on a tripod almost. Now, as I mentioned before, the Dobby zooms in tighter in the shot. So let me zoom these in harder. And what you're going to see is, here at 400%, Notice how the Breeze actually is a bit sharper than the Dobby. So basically the Dobby, because it's already zoomed in a lot, doesn't have as much detail in the video file. Let's go back out to the 100% view. The other thing I see here is that the highlight and the shadows are more defined on the Breeze, whereas on the Dobby, the shadows close up a bit more and the highlights blow out a bit more. Again, it's not really the end of the world, but it's the difference between these two cameras. So I'm not the one to tell you which one is better for your lifestyle. All I'm here to do right now is show you what the two cameras do and why they're different. So there you have it. I'm going to cut in and I'm going to show you a couple more videos. And I'm just going to kind of run them next side by side and show you full size and then back to the side by side thing. Now let's take a real quick look at a still shot also. I did a JPEG from the Breeze and here's a JPEG from the Dobby. Let's put them right next to each other. And if you let's zoom into 400%. And here we have the details in the Dobby shot and the details in the Breeze shot. So that really should tell you a bit about what the JPEG you get from here. I'm not going to bother show you one from the Typhoon H because it is going to be better. It's just how it is. You pay more for the camera, you're going to get a better camera. Now let's not lose track of what we're talking about here. This is an enormous thing that is not easily going to fit in your carry-on luggage. These two, both of them will easily fit in your carry-on luggage. By the way, to make my Breeze carry-on easier, I made some little end props here. Let me pop them off so you can see how that works. These things just basically holds the props down, but what they do is they prevent the props from getting bent when you throw them in with your underwear. And I gotta tell you, I love the video from either one of them. What it really matters here is, when you go traveling somewhere, the real question is, what quality still pictures do you want to send home, and what quality video do you want to post on Instagram and Facebook when you use these things to show some video from your trip to your friends? That is a question that, frankly, only you can answer. So there you have it. This video was brought to you by carolinadrones.com. And as always, make sure you click down in the corner, click subscribe. We've got more videos coming up. Thank you guys. There we have it. Quick little flight. And that went easily enough, didn't it?